the building's pre-existing the current zoning law, which detail the setbacks. That's what's at issue here. We're just talking about a variance for a setback, period.
Not a business.
We're just talking about the setback and
legal use.
pre-existing
For
business.
legal use.
The legal use was defined by Mr. Tutt, and as far as rentals, even if it were to have been a rental, never mind drawing transient or long-term, the fact that one building is closer than 100 feet to the lot line is what's at issue here, period.
Right.
Okay?
Bells?
And there was.
Bruce and Elizabeth Bell.
Why a variance?
Are they here? Anyone representing Bruce or Elizabeth Bell? Okay, so we will postpone this. This is for a variance up in Chichester at the church, for the Wesleyan Church.
Yeah, was this a church or not? Sunshine?
It is, yeah.
Something like that, a church building up there. Yeah, I got that.
So we will, you want to contact them?
I told him it was going to be on the agenda tonight. You know, he asked me, he missed last week, he missed the last meeting, he missed 2 days, getting it to you. So I said that next month, I'll make sure it's on the agenda.
Okay. So you want to contact them and see if they want to reschedule?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So, now we got the railroad, Catskill Mountain Railroad. And I asked one to, because I had some questions about the specific variances requested, and you know, maybe first give us a rundown on them. There's a little confusion. Your bigger table.
I think we're okay. Turn it sideways or something.
Now, Joe, just
Yeah.
be mindful you are recusing yourself
Yes.
in this endeavor.
For the record, as a member of the board of the Catskill Mountain Railroad, I have to recuse myself from any decisions or voting on this matter. I can answer technical questions because I am the engineer of record on some of the plans.
No,
No, you can't.
not on anything.
You're a board member, you have to remain quiet and recuse yourself.
I think if you step down from the board, I think we've had situations where we've had board members present information. So if you step down off the board, and if there's a specific question that someone needs to have answered from you, I don't see an issue with that. We have a surveyor who comes and represents clients before the board, so.
Can say certain things.
No, hang on.
As a
No,
member,
no, ma'am, I'm
I'm
sorry.
not going to speak to that, I'm just going to speak as another person. As a member of the Ethics Committee. He may not.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Okay. Point taken.
Good?
Shall we proceed?
Yes.
Okay. After reviewing the application, reviewing the maps and the codes, we'll start with, he's requesting 2 area variances, front and rear setbacks. It is zoned Hamlet residential where he'll be placing it. So, we did the calculations, it was 11 foot and
I thought it was a 5-foot
the
variance.
rear was an 11 foot and the front was a 5-foot variance.
And there is a notation for a height variance, but that is not, it's not requested, it's not necessary. On the application it says height.
30 feet.
Yeah, there's also a height variance
35
requested.
35 is a bar.
What's that?
That was an error.
Yeah, okay. So
Well, we're just gonna run through, make sure we got what you actually want. So we're sure.
Yes, there is no necessity for a height variance.
Which side is the 5 feet?
The front towards the rail is 5 foot.
Yeah, the closest one here is the 5-foot variance, that's the 11-foot variance in the back. And go ahead and talk to, we're going to address the use variance.
Well, I was going to get to also the density.
Okay.
He's looking for a density variance. If they combine the two lots, they'll have a total square footage of 95,832. The maximum structure coverage is 10%, which would be a total of 9,583. The proposed building is 8,000. So he's under his maximum coverage. Once he does the lot line revision, removes it, combines the two lots together. So he doesn't need a density variance. He's not going to exceed the coverage allowed in that district. The use variance, the nearest we can come up
Guys,
with.
please keep it down. You're going to need to talk. Step outside, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What was that?
The nearest we can come up with for the use of the proposed building would be light industrial, in that they would be doing some warehousing of train equipment and some processing and some repairs. So be that as it may, it's a prohibited use in this zoning district. So you would need a use variance to place, they would need a use variance to place the building in this zoning district. That concludes the variances that they are applying for. So you have two area and one use.
And no density.
No density and no height.
Okay. Harry, would you like to come forward?
So you've seen the plans. Basically, the westernmost portion of the property, actually where the building is going to be placed, was purchased in 1984 and has been used for the storage of our equipment, Catskill Mountain Railroad.
Outdoor storage.
Yes, outdoor storage. And then we acquired the easternmost parcel a few years after that. And in fact, yeah,
This one?
and have used both of them for the storage of our equipment as part of our operation. I have actually a photo here from 1899, which shows the existing station, which is owned by ESRM, and in fact, an engine house, which is also part of the use. It's actually not on the property that we're talking about here, but at one point there were 6 sets of track in this yard that comprised the Phoenician yard for the Ulster Delaware Railroad. So historically, it's been used for that. The other thing is that basically we are bordered by the Empire State Railway Museum on 3 sides. Just the easternmost tip of the property is up against Dryden, which is down there. And in keeping with the Railroad Museum, it's kind of appropriate, goes hand in hand. The hardship comes in fact, that for the last 25 years, we've been leasing the Ulster Delaware Railroad right-of-way from Ulster County. And at this point, our lease expires on May 31st. We've obviously had some differences with the county over the last few years. At this point, they are proposing to put the project up to bid and RFP it, and we do not really have a certain future at this point.
I'm sorry, which project?
The rental of the Ulster Delaware.
Okay.
So if in fact we don't get a lease, or if there's an interim period where we don't lease the right of way, we really need some place to store our equipment, which is where we have been storing it. So that, as I look at it, constitutes a hardship for why we're here. We have, in fact, always dreamed about, having a place to work on our equipment, much like the ESRM's car barn. Their car barn is for storage. Ours is, a maintenance facility as indicated in the application. We've also taken provisions for fuel. There's a fuel depot with runoff, as far as any kind of spill containment. within the building itself, it's also, there's a provision for a sump, so as to be able to catch any residuals.
So the railroad along the, that goes in front of the station is the road owned by the Ulster County that is currently leased, and you guys own all this other track?
Correct.
This is proposed track, actually?
Proposed
yeah?
track, yeah.
Okay, all the red?
Red is proposed, the black is existing.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Wow. Is that part of the variance you're asking for, or is it construction of the track?
No,
No.
Okay.
Just the rear and front, and then also the use variance.
Well, so would you be a bidder for the, do you have to bid lease of the county track, or
Most definitely.
could it be a purchase situation possibly?
No doubt that. You know, I mean, it's a public property. I don't know if we would be financially in a position to be able to afford, you know, the purchase of highway right away. But, you know, we definitely are very interested in maintaining continuous use of the property as we have for the last 32 years. The end of the 25-year lease is actually the, I believe, fifth year. We had 2 one-year leases, and then a 5-year lease, and then ultimately a 20-year lease.
Do you currently have plans for, have you had plans drawn?
The plans are submitted as part of the application
Yeah, for the structure itself?
for the structure itself.
Yeah, it looks like a handsome structure. You guys are in the floodplain, correct?
Correct.
And so, I had a question about this myself.
The actual placement of the structure itself is above flood elevation.
It is.
Yes, there's also a parcel map in there that indicates that.
Okay. So I think the zoning has to be 1 foot above the 100-year floodplain.
And keep going, like you'll see right there. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying you guys are satisfied?
Just
with everything?
clarify that. What are we looking at there?
This is floodplain.
Okay.
And this is actually right here where there's a tip.
This is
This is actually floodway.
floodway.
This
Okay.
is floodplain.
Okay. And where exactly is the structure?
That's what the,
That's this? Okay, okay. I wasn't sure if that was the property or the
Well, this is actually, no, this is the property. That's the entire parcel.
Oh, okay.
And this is the split. This is the line between the 2 parcels.
Here, the line to be removed?
The line to be removed.
Okay, so the,
So the actual placement of the building is pretty much right there.
up in here, okay. Okay, so this is floodway, this is flood zone?
Floodplain.
Floodplain. P, okay.
yeah, if you look at the upper portion of the property, it's like, there's that whole section, it's a bullseye.
Yeah.
It's a place in there.
So during the flood, they took that corner out of the station, and this was all underwater probably at one point, right?
No, actually, this is higher. That's why it is in fact not in the floodplain or the floodway, where the footprint of the building is. Based on the elevations, the floodwaters ran right down the road right away. This project is just a little bit higher.
But they'll be applying for a floodplain development, because they're technically in the floodplain.
Mhm.
When we look at each application on its merit, the elevation certificates, but that all goes running, all those developments go. So the building will be built as per, and this will be the newly adopted map that we're looking at. The one that's soon to be adopted this year.
This-
Yeah, that one.
Blow up,
This is
okay.
the 2013 model that we'll be adopting this year versus 2009.
Okay. You the FEMA?
Yes.
Can you explain the sump and oil skimmer? I'm just concerned about how you're controlling the petroleum waste.
Right, well, in the pit, because there is a pit as part of the design, if there's any residual, then it empties into that, the sump and the skimmer, and then it's, pumped out and disposed of in a legal fashion.
Yeah.
It's containment, so,
What is that legal fashion?
based on DEC specs for painting shops.
which is what, you know?
Yes, we have a whole booklet. I mean, it involves, paints and ball tools and all of that.
Okay. And then the other thing is, I believe there's all kinds of, not all kinds of exaggeration. There are some local environmental usage laws concerning sound, light, noise. Regs 116-22, capital B. For example, there's a limit to decibel noise.
I don't think there would be any more noise than what has historically been taking place here. And, we've been using it for, working on equipment since 1984.
So you totally enclosed structures, like, right?
Even in the open. A diesel locomotive makes a certain amount of noise, You blow the whistle on it, you could hear it for miles and miles. We haven't really received any complaints from adjoining neighbors or, it's not like, we're operating a railroad. There is a certain residual amount of noise, and with regards to blowing the horn, that's FRA requirements for movements of equipment.
In the yard?
Crossing, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I think I was assuming since you guys are building a new, restoration and maintenance shop, there's going to be a lot more restoration and maintenance going on than there
Right.
already has been. Is that an incorrect assumption?
Well, basically, any extra above and beyond would be within the building. So once again, limiting the amount of decibels.
You're doing it outside now. They've been doing it outside.
Right.
This has actually been required.
Yes, I'm asking you to do the same thing inside, you're doing outside, or?
This would actually improve any noise.
Right, okay. Atmospheric effluviance, in the atmospheric effluviance.
And the building is specifically for your convenience. You could, even if you were concerned about the county's right of
We
way.
don't anticipate building that building for a couple of years.
All right.
If in fact another operator comes in, another railroad gets the bid, then, we may end up liquidating our equipment to them. So, like I said, we don't anticipate building anything for a couple of years. We're not in a position to do that. But with regards to, laying down rail and setting up a yard, it's part of the site plan. Let's do our job. If we do get the lease, then we would like to have a shop.
Great, looks like a handsome building.
It will model the ESR's car barn here, to where it'll fit aesthetically with the station. And, if everything goes south, we can still function as part of the ESRM. Like I said, they have 16 acres off on the property here. It's not out of the question to maybe even build a loop track in there and have a little attraction right here in Phoenicia. Wouldn't go for it, but you could go. They can, the president of the museum was planning on being here tonight, but obviously didn't make it. But, the ESRM fully supports all that we propose here.
Any other questions for the board? Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we move this to public hearing, scheduled for next month. Second?
Board Member Reese?
Yes.
Board Member Louise?
Yes.
And Board Member Lubetti?
Yes.
And as you probably know, we do send it to the county because it's a private deal. Obviously, they probably Okay. Okay. Do you have minutes to approve?
Yes.
guys want to review the minutes for a minute? Which ones you'll probably vote on? I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as typed.
I'll second.
Can I get a roll call first? Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
What's today's All right. Some breaking ground here that's ready for I mean, well, you yes, they want
Should not be read higher.
You can do
The
it.
whole thing is that we can't
Bill's application for transient.
I'm trying to have.
I didn't know. For the meeting? No, I just wanted to know.
Higher price.
I didn't know that was the multiple dwelling, I didn't get on myself. I have 6 bedrooms.
For the workshop, I watched it?
I could rent out that.
I didn't know if you did. No, I thought they don't think you
Well, it should, but you know let them be in business.
I'm taking it.
We're not getting married.
You know.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
I'm at the mercy. In fact, as far as I'm there.
Is this facility in fact maybe heated? Is that? Talk outside or something. Yeah, this is quite large. My mother was a little bit
He's like one of his left. Getting out of the money. Everybody knows to make more money. Everybody knows to run business and
So many ways.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. I envisioned a much larger volume. And of course, we're in the flood.
Yeah.
But instead, he started by this whole process got snapped. I'm back in my house. Right.
Snowed out.
No, you're not supposed to. They don't really clobber them out there. Oh my God, get out of there.
Go down there. They might have a little bit this Sunday, or you might have some.
No, the only thing I'm worried about is
They might be committed down there.
I think
Even during the meeting, that's when even during the meeting, I thought I was crazy.
All I can do is. That's all I do.
So if they want to ask a question of the engineer, they could do that. Not just what-
Not that.
Thanks for your help.
I wanted to try to make it clear.
Yes, ma'am.
You know?
Yeah.
But if somebody asks him,
I know.
he can answer.
Well,
Right, I know he did that right away.
Not a problem.
Your entire house.
There may be two people go to
Boston, Texas.
and they don't get it.
Well, thank you. Story of Shandaken. Where were you, Redmond?
Sheepshead Bay.
Sheepshead Bay, okay. I was myself.
Oh, very good. We live there, my one son's going to. He's gonna have you don't want to name, I thought it was very proper. That was the thing, you know, I really got my son involved.
Well, for that, I would do the same for my mother. I probably wouldn't have stopped there.
Right, but I told him not to do anything, don't scare me.
I got a feeling, yes, ma'am.
Very good. Okay, take care. We got back to that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so obvious.
Because one cylinder is 165.